Welcome to Business Watch. I'm Chief Robert Osecki of the Brunswick Hills Police Department, and today we'll be talking about the Brunswick Area Chamber of Commerce. My guests today are the new Executive Director, Mr. Murray McDade, and Mr. Ron Rowe, the current President. Thanks for joining us today on the show.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. If we could start out with you, Murray, what brought you to the Brunswick Area Chamber of Commerce, and especially through your different ranks you've held or offices, and now as the head honcho executive director?
I got involved about 5 or 6 years ago. It seemed like a good place to be for a small business. I've lived in the Brunswick area since 1986 and have built my business slowly throughout that time, and it just seemed like a good time to join the chamber when I did. If you're going to do something, you might as well get involved with it, and so when the officers were being elected, I submitted my name and got involved at the board level. Again, if you're going to do something and be involved, you might as well be involved. So I got involved in the leadership of the organization. So it seemed like a fairly natural progression for me.
Mm-hmm. Ron, how about yourself? What was your interest in the chamber, and how long have you been involved with the organization?
Sure. I've just been in the county for 2 years. I work for Ohio Edison, and of course Edison has always been very active in the Brunswick area communities. And so when I came to the position of area manager in the county, I naturally joined, and like Murray, wanted to take a leadership role, and have jumped right in to that position rather quickly, I might add.
Rather quickly.
And we're glad to have you here.
Thank you.
As far as the chamber is concerned, most of our viewing public, of course, the show is called Business Watch, but we have our general public that watch the show. I guess we've talked before. What are the benefits to the general public, other than business owners, being a part of the chamber, or knowing about it, or knowing the history of the chamber? And I want to get to the history after you answer that question.
All right. The Chamber of Commerce is an enormously important asset to the community in which it functions. It represents a consortium of member businesses. We are not supported by government funds or tax dollars in any way. These are member businesses who get involved. The real impact to the community comes under the heading of something called economic development. Economic development is about creating jobs. It's about the things that improve the tax base. The ability to bring businesses to an area, to a region, to help those businesses prosper, to help them succeed. Those are all part of the conversations of economic development. What that means to the residents of the area is that the residents enjoy a broader spectrum of places to shop, restaurants and retail, commercial interests in the area are enhanced. And again, the effect of that situation is those businesses contribute substantially to the tax base. And the more taxes come from the business community, the less taxes have to come from the residents. So it's a strong business community is always an asset to the area.
What is the chamber doing to enhance the economic development interest in the area? I know that Tom Arnold from the city of Brunswick is taking care of that for the city, and Trustee Linda Hudson is going to be heading that up for Brunswick Hills Township. How do you see the marriage going together here, and do you think it's a little bit overdue that we haven't more aggressively worked together with the township and the city to bring this whole economic story for the betterment of both communities?
From the perspective of business, it's always overdue. It's been overdue for a number of years, but the timing of things are what they are, and the timing of things now seems to be right. The city has an active interest in pursuing the economic development. I know Tom Arnold is very busy in what he's doing. I've met with Linda Hudson, and she is very, very interested in economic development. It's good for the area. It doesn't matter whether which piece of the area is involved. It is good for the area. So the chamber is actively talking with both of those parties to make sure we can do what we need, to make sure we understand what the needs are of the area. And we're also talking at the county level. The county has an economic development corporation whose charter is economic development of Medina County. And so the chamber is actively involved in conversations both at the city and the township and at the county levels, trying to figure out what is right for the area and facilitate those organizations coming to us.
Mm-hmm. As far as enhancing the community as a whole, the whole area, the whole Brunswick area, as we call it, with the change of Chamber of Commerce, I even know that you have a new logo now.
Absolutely.
Would you like to speak on that a little
Absolutely.
bit and the reasonings for the change?
The chamber is in the process of kind of reinventing itself. Again, it's an issue of timing. When circumstances allow things to happen, they do, and it feels fairly easy. The chamber's board, its leadership several years ago, we did a strategic plan. Part of that strategic plan involved serious conversations about economic development and leadership. It doesn't make any sense to try to confine economic development to the city limits or to the township limits. The real benefactors are the northern tier of Medina County. And so the idea of an area chamber seemed to make an awful lot of sense. And so we broadened our perspective, and the motivation of certain members helped that along. It was, you know, seeds are planted, and over time they grow and they develop, and all we're doing right now is realizing the fruits of that investment.
Ron, you're also involved with the Medina Chamber, correct?
I am.
How do you see the marriage between the chambers and the working relationships? I've had on the show, I believe, a year and a half ago or so, the three executive directors, your predecessor, Barb DeJour, and the executive director from Wadsworth, Medina. How do you see everything coming together? And are the three chambers, because we know that there's many other chambers that are smaller in the county, but are the three main chambers working together on this economic development issue?
Absolutely. I've seen the focus of both Wadsworth and Medina strongly on economic development. Murray had mentioned the County Economic Development Corporation. All three executive directors regularly attend those meetings. They work together closely, and I know they meet periodically amongst themselves and also with local legislators. Chuck Calvert offers them an opportunity to offer and get feedback on legislative issues that affect economic development in the business community. So I'm real happy to say that Murray's working closely with Deborah Lynn-Schmitz in Medina and Beth Workman in Wadsworth and working cooperatively.
Mm-hmm. As far as the infrastructure is concerned, and I'll address this question to both of you gentlemen, I personally see Brunswick as being a good area because of our proximity to I-71. But can either one of you share, or both of you share, what your feelings are, your perspective with being Ohio Edison and yours with being a smaller business owner? Does that come into play at all?
It's a tremendous market. This is a tremendous location for economic development. You can't underestimate the importance of I-71 and the local infrastructure. Tom Arnold will tell you that his problem with economic development in the area is land. He's got a couple industrial parks that are just about full, and we need to identify those areas where industrial and commercial growth can take place in the area, because there are many businesses clamoring to get into our area. It's a terrific situation.
Mm-hmm. Maury?
Yeah, we have truly not even begun to explore the opportunities for economic development that this area has. The infrastructure that's provided by I-71 is just, I mean, it's huge. The access to utilities and those other aspects of infrastructure. The only thing that I know that we're really weak on right now is the more technologically turned pieces of that puzzle. Fiber optics would be a very nice adjunct to that, although I understand University of Akron is bringing fiber optics here to their Brunswick installation. That being the case, there's another niche in the puzzle that is starting to be filled. But high-speed data lines will certainly make commercial ventures more feasible than they are right now. Transportation in and out The Chamber supported the widening of 71 between here and Cleveland, and will continue to support that project. It makes good economic sense to be able to get goods and services to and from a larger market. So those are the aspects of infrastructure that we're watching.
So these are the type of things that economic, Jim Dowd from the county, Tom Arnold, and Linda, what they're looking to coincide with businesses and attract them is because of the proximity of where Brunswick area is. And also, what about services? And I'll get to that, and I'm going to get to that because of the police department issue, of course. You know, we have a good cooperative effort between Brunswick, Brunswick Hills, and Hinckley Police Department. We work together jointly on many ventures. First of all, we share the school system, the Brunswick school system. I have a liaison officer that's full-time in the high school that works along with a Brunswick officer. We work together on drug investigations and just basically anything that would do for a better quality of life here in northern Medina County. Also, we have the joint SWAT team, which is tactical team, which is called CERT, and juvenile diversion program, as well as the Family Assistance Coalition team. It offers many good services. Would this be the type of things and a good example of cooperative efforts that would attract businesses as Ohio Edison to move into an area like this?
Oh, without a doubt. When companies are investigating economic development locations, it plays a large role. Key people in businesses that are looking to locate obviously are concerned. They have families and they want to locate in an area where they feel safe and they have services provided, and you can't underestimate the Brunswick and Brunswick area locations and their capabilities for services.
But, and that's another part of the chamber where they can get involved, is to enhance some other these quality of life issues. You know, the police departments, I've been involved with the chamber since I became police chief, and that's been over 6 years now. And I've moved chamber furniture from when the offices have changed. I've been involved with the golf outings, you know, putting those together, and felt that the law enforcement aspect, that the business owners do want to have that marriage with the community leaders. They want to have that with the police, fire departments, and also with the political people. Do you feel that this is what your members, for the most part, are looking for, is just one huge cooperative effort?
I think that's an important part of the economic development of the area in large. Those softer issues like quality of life issues, typically you think of quality of life and you think in terms of the arts. That piece of the puzzle is not as strong as it could be or should be or will be. But there's a whole host of services that contribute substantially to that quality of life, and safety services is one of those issues. The ability of citizens to feel safe in their home, the ability of corporate citizens to feel safe in their places of business. I think that's an important aspect. In fact, Crane's Cleveland Business magazine did a study probably 3 years ago now, maybe, if memory serves me, but memory being what it is.
Yes.
Brunswick was highly rated in terms of one of the reasons businesses moved to Brunswick was because of the rating of the safety services. It was an interesting sidelight, a perspective on our community that I would not have expected. But that's an important issue in the conversation of economic development.
Brunswick, even as of 5 years ago, was predominantly thought of as a blue-collar community. Are you finding in your travels that that's changing, and at what rate is that changing?
The demographics that I have looked at in the spanning the last 10 or 15 years, 10 years ago, you're exactly right, it was perceived of predominantly as a blue-collar society. Over the last 3 or 4 years, though, the shift has become fairly radical and skewed more towards an upscale homeowner. The price of homes, I think, demonstrates that as well as anything. That's a marker of the income level of the people who are buying them. So we have turned decidedly higher upscale. I think that's the right use of the word, isn't it?
Yes,
I can use
absolutely.
that.
I like it.
I can
It
use
works for me.
upscale, sure.
That's right. Well, and that goes, and we'll talk more about the map. I was involved on a committee for the first chamber map, and this time you had asked me, I was just in your office yesterday, to take a look at it and see what changes there were. Well, we've got 11 proposed housing developments coming in Brunswick Hills, and the population is going to double within the next 7 to 10 years. As we looked at the map, and you so professionally brought up yesterday, look at all this open area, and Brunswick Hills completely surrounds Brunswick, and Brunswick is filling up, and that goes to right where the economic development thing is. The areas of building and coming in and bringing business into the area is really hold tight right now in the city of Brunswick. The housing that's being built, just lots in Brunswick Hills, Boston Reserve Development, are $70,000, $80,000 lots, and people are going to be putting, up to $500,000 homes and such on these. For the people to move here to the area, something has attracted them, but to keep the people in the area, let's keep the Brunswick area dollars in Brunswick area. That's why we need to attract more quality of life issues, in my feelings. We need to provide excellent police, fire service, as well as garbage removal and all the services that these people building those type of houses enjoy, as well as our residents that live in the medium income. There really is no low income to Brunswick area, and that's the surprising part. I mean, we've got a great community, we've got, excellent services, a great Chamber of Commerce, we have to say that's aggressively moving forward into, the 21st century here. What is it going to take, Ron, in your estimations, to attract more people and in turn attract more business? What are we lacking in the area?
Wait, the people are coming. They're here, as you mentioned, 11 new allotments in the hills. That puts a burden on safety services. I'm sure your department feels pressure with the addition of all the new residents. But the residents also feel pressure because their taxes are going up to support that infrastructure. We need an opportunity to identify land that's available and zoned for businesses to come to the hills. Once that's identified, the population will support additional businesses, and those businesses will offset, as Murray had indicated, offset some of that tax burden that residents feel. And that helps everybody. That helps the residents. The residents support new businesses, and that new tax supports the safety services and those issues that are needed by the residents.
Zoning is always a hot issue, and that is what creates a lot of not having industrial areas available in the township especially. I mean, on Marks Road, we are right across the street from the industrial park, but the Brunswick Hills areas aren't zoned to attract those type of businesses. And they're mostly clean, smoke-free facilities that are in that industrial park, and that was put together very well by the Liverpool and Valley City people. They did an excellent job with that. In your feelings, Murray, can business and residential coincide and live together?
I think absolutely. I think business can contribute substantially to quality of life, and that attracts people. And people want to live in a rich environment. And richness comes from the arts and softer issues that we don't typically think of. Business goes an awful long way in supporting the arts, and it's a good investment for that very reason. The opportunity is upon us to create a very positive spiral where we can move into a series of progressions. It's got to happen cooperatively. The lines that you draw on maps are really unimportant when it comes to the concept of economic development. That's an area, that's a regional preposition. And that's where our assets really lie, respecting the differences. And I sound like I'm lecturing on sociology now, and I apologize.
You're doing an excellent job, by the way. I like that.
But certainly the respect for differences, but we have an enormous opportunity to look at those things that the communities can act on jointly, that will enrich our lives from a business perspective and enrich the lives of the residents of the community. A solid, successful business community contributes enormously to quality of life of the people who enjoy and share that same community. And that's the idea, that's the best of all possible worlds. I mean, how can it be any better than that?
Absolutely. We know that economic development, I think the three of us agree, is a very hot topic, and it should be on the forefront, the front burner, however you put it, of the chamber. And from what I'm hearing, you gentlemen are doing that, as well as the rest of your board members. Let's talk about member benefits to our business viewers that are out there. What is the chamber doing for its membership? And what is the membership of the chamber? I'll ask first of all, how many businesses, how many people are involved?
We have roughly 205 or 210 member businesses on the roster. Businesses come to the chamber for a number of kind of bottom line benefits. They look to us, for instance, we provide a workers' comp package that allows a small business to get involved in a group rating environment. And what that group rating environment does to a small business is just drive those workers' comp costs down. And so that's an enormous advantage to a small business, because stuff you don't pay out in workers' comp hits the bottom line, and the bottom line can be used for things like capital improvements. Bottom line can be used for things like pay increases. So the ramifications of that are real important. Health insurance, life insurance is a big reason to belong to the chamber. We have a very, very sound insurance package through Anthem Blue Cross Blue Shield. We just recently, the board voted to approve a long distance package that will give our member businesses rates as low as 6 cents a minute. So that's an enormous benefit. And there's just a whole host of, again, it becomes increasingly soft in terms of, for instance, if a small business, a home-based business, doesn't have a copier and needs 300 copies. Well, they can come to the chamber and use the chamber's copier for a very, very nominal cost, and so they're saved that kind of investment. Fax services are available, email services are available. We have a website that allows a member business to establish a presence in the web for a very, very nominal cost. So there's a whole host of minor benefits that you get by belonging to the chamber.
Which to a smaller company turn into major benefits when you start thinking about, cost of faxing and that type of thing.
Absolutely.
Do you also provide the bulk mail at a discount?
Yes, bulk mailing, of course, direct advertising is a big piece of reaching out to your customer base. We have a very competitive bulk mail situation that member businesses can use.
Okay, thank you. Ron, could you share with the viewers about the community guide that the chamber puts out? The chamber takes the lead on this.
Published this guide, and it's one of the benefits of being in a community with a strong Chamber of Commerce. The community guide lists obviously the member businesses, but also key information regarding schools, social agencies, services in the area. Information that's tremendous for new residents, but also valuable to people who have been in the community for some time, who aren't aware of the different services, a compilation of key telephone numbers, and so it's quite a nice tool for residents.
Okay. And I know we have this available at the Brunswick Hills Police Department in our lobby. I believe that Brunswick Police has it. Also, where's the chamber office at for people who'd like to know?
The chamber is located at 3511 Center Road. We are in Suites A-B. It's a small but very functional office in the Swiss chalet-style buildings, right directly across from the Brunswick Lake region. It's a good place to stop by for a citizen to pick up the community guide. We had 15,000, I think, was the print count of the community guides printed, so they are readily available. Like I said, I've been in the Brunswick area since 1986. I should know the district, I should know the area, but I routinely turn to the community guide for figuring out who I need to talk to about what situation.
You and I both.
So it's a real asset, even for us old timers. We can.
Yeah. Between Brunswick and Brunswick Hills Police, I've been out here since 1984, and still at times wonder where am I at, and with all the new
who's on
streets
first?
coming in. I mean,
That's
it's
exactly
amazing. Along with the community guide, let's get back to the map again.
Sure.
When's the completion date going to be, and where's the availability of the map?
The completion date is estimated now at October. We're a little bit behind schedule. A big part of that is because of the growth of the area, the new developments that are coming in. We're trying to be very careful to reflect those new streets on the map to the best of our understanding and ability, so that's taken us more time than we had originally expected. So availability is probably October, and my guess would be later in the month as opposed to earlier. And certainly the chamber is the first point of entry for the map, and we will be distributing them to the police departments and other primary agencies.
Mm-hmm. And the map, I have to endorse the chamber's map. Last time and this time I saw the quality of it. There are some really low quality maps that our businesses are paying money to be advertised in that don't have the streets, don't even have, you know, the police departments listed in the proper places. So, you know, again, my endorsement is if you're going to get involved with a map, get involved with the chamber map, because it's the best reflection of where everything really is in the community.
And it is truly a working map. It is intended to help us find our spot, our moving from point A to point B. But it gets a national distribution. When somebody inquires about the Brunswick area, that Brunswick map goes out.
Okay. A couple other things I wanted to mention. We're running out of time like we usually do here. I told you we'd go fast before the show started. Let's talk about the latest function we're going to have is going to be the auction. If you can tell us where, when, and how much.
The Chamber's auction is coming up November 5th at Mapleside, and if the date is wrong, I will have people looking for me.
Call the chamber office.
Call the chamber for
225?
details.
Okay.
Yes, 225-8411 is the number. I think the date is the 5th. We are scheduled at Mapleside, down in the Apple Bin. It's a lovely space down at the bottom. There's an enormous range of goodies that have been donated to the chamber auction that will be available for sale, open to the public. So just because you're not a chamber member, don't hesitate to stop by. Great place to buy gifts for those hard-to-buy-for people in your life.
Okay. Sounds good. Well, Ron, would you like to share anything in closing here? That we may have, I know we missed a lot of things we wanted to talk about. We'll have to do another show in the future here sometime, but anything you'd like to share?
Well, of course, in any organization like a Chamber of Commerce, there are a multitude of people who give a lot of effort to make the community a better place. And of course, we have a tremendous amount of people who volunteer a lot of their time to make the Brunswick area a better place, and that goes for our board members and our committee chairs, as well as those people who give countless hours working. So I'd like to acknowledge them and offer my thanks for all the effort they do to make it a better place to live.
Well, thank you. Murray?
I couldn't echo that more. The Chamber is truly a volunteer organization from the board level to the committee level. They are outreaches that are enormously important to the Chamber as an organization, but to the area as well. Mm-hmm. And we simply could not begin to do the things that we're attempting to do without stalwart volunteers.
Okay. And with that, I'd like to thank both of you for being on the show. I commend you both for the job you're doing, your board, the volunteer people. And I know the Chamber's been on the right track, but I feel very confident with Murray, with you at the helm now, and getting out there talking to other people. Again, economic development, attracting people. I commend you both, and I think you're doing a great job. And of course, you've got my support and anything I can do to help out the Chamber.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Chief. Okay, thank you. And thank you for viewing Business Watch.